At the break of dawn, just as the last frost of March 1943 began to melt across the fields of northern Belgium, a lone British Valentine tank emerged from the mist like a ghost from the steel-blooded past. Its engine rumbled not in fury, but in duty, its tracks slicing through dewy grass, weighed not just by armor, but by memory. The air was thick with fog, the kind that seemed to silence even the birds. But inside the metal beast, hearts beat with fire. These were not just soldiers. They were ghosts in the making, living echoes of a nation's burden. The Valentine was not the fastest tank on the battlefield, nor the heaviest, but it was dependable, a soldier's friend, built to endure. And in this frozen moment, that counted for everything. Beside it, a Churchill tank groaned into motion, its treads groaning under its massive weight. Where the Valentine was compact and determined, the Churchill was towering and resolute. They were steel brothers, born of the same war, forged for the same purpose. The land before them was no longer farmland. It was a graveyard, trees splintered by artillery, earth torn by craters, fences shredded by machine gun fire. The Valentine pressed on regardless, its gun barrel raised like a knight's lance. Every rotation of its track was a defiance of fate. Then came the first strike. A shell screamed past, carving into the mud behind them. Then another, closer. The horizon erupted in smoke as the sky flickered with orange flame. The Valentine did not flinch. Its 2-pounder gun barked in reply, recoiling with a blast of thunder. Muzzle smoke enveloped its turret, heat waves warping the air around the barrel. Dirt exploded beneath enemy sandbags. Ahead, a machine gun nest went silent forever. The Valentine moved again, forward, always forward, through a field now charred and broken. Grass turned to ash, dreams turned to duty. Rain began to fall. Not gently, but in sheets, cold and diagonal, soaking steel and skin alike. The Valentine's surface shimmered, rainwater cascading down its armored plates like tears that refused to be seen. In the distance, the Churchill tank opened fire, its shot tearing through the mist like a bolt from the gods. Behind them, another tank emerged, completing the trinity of thunder that now marched against the gates of ruin. The battle stretched into hours. Roads turned to rivers, trees burned like torches, and the very sky seemed to weep fire and blood. The Valentine crossed a shallow creek, water spraying around it like baptism. On its front plate, a soldier's helmet rested, belonging to someone left behind, or perhaps carried forward in remembrance. No words were needed. The tank spoke in thunder. They pressed on through a ruined village, bricks crushed under their weight, children's toys half buried in the dirt, silent, witnesses to man's greatest folly. In one home, the roof gone and the walls scorched. A photograph fluttered on a windowsill, a woman and a child, smiling, unaware that war had changed the course of their world. By dusk, the tanks crested a hill. The sun dipped low, bleeding red across the fields. Valentine stood still, its silhouette framed against a sky painted with smoke and sorrow. Its crew had not spoken for some time. They didn't need to. They felt each other's breath, heard each other's hearts. Outside, artillery lit the horizon, like stars dying out one by one. That night, they camped in silence. But before sunrise, they moved again. A fog thicker than death rolled in from the river. The Valentine advanced slowly, its lights off, moving by instinct and memory. Then came the ambush. Mines hidden in mud, anti-tank fire from hedgerows, the scream of mortars from treetops. The Valentine's left tread was struck. It twisted, groaned, and halted. But its cannon turned and fired again and again. They were surrounded now. The commander looked at his crew, boys with calloused hands and tired eyes. He knew, and they knew. But the Valentine was not just a machine. It was their body now, their soul. They stayed. They fought. And when the Churchill roared in from the smoke to cover them, it was not just armor arriving, it was family. As dawn broke once more, the enemy retreated. The Valentine, smoke trailing from its side, rolled forward again, torn, scarred, but not broken. Soldiers stood atop hills and watched the tank that would not die. The tank that became a symbol. The tank that carried them when hope did not.